Finding the word at the turn of a dial. Welcome to In the Mix on 107.7 The Bronx. Every Tuesday and Thursday at 4 p.m., Dr. Suave will fill your heart and soul with gospel, praise, and worship. For the next 60 minutes, find your purpose in life, change, and motivation through the message of the cross. In the Mix is underwritten by Noah's Ark Worship Center, Bensalem, PA. Dr. Suave is your pastor and dedicated to share his vision and passion for music and the word of the Lord across the globe. For more information online, it's noahsarkworshipcenter.com. Let's get in tune to the Lord with today's edition of In the Mix.
Well, thank you, everybody. We're glad that we are here, and we know that in the midst of everything, that God has a great purpose and a great plan for us. So we want you to open your heart and open your minds, because we know that today, effectively, God has something great to do. We also want to thank God for the opportunity that He has given us to be here. And we want to thank all the listeners for listening, those who are watching live stream, those who are listening. We want to thank you for listening, because we know that in the midst and the good and the bad, that God is there and He's able to work out the situation. We also want to keep praying for the people in North Carolina and the South for the catastrophe that they may come through, because we know it's a difficult time for them. But we believe that in the midst of everything, that God is going to work out the situation. And we have open hearts, open minds, because we know that in the midst of everything, God is good. Today we have a guest, Councilman O from Philadelphia. He'll be here talking to us about a special event that they are doing for the next couple of weeks. So we want to introduce that soon. So in the meantime, we want to take a minute and we want to pray with you, because we know that if we pray with you, God is able to do great things. So we want to take a minute, we want to pray with you. So let us all pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the great opportunity you have given us to be here. Thank you for the listeners. Thank you for those who are here, who are listening, who are watching, who are live streaming. We want to ask that your blessings may be with them. And we want to ask you that you may bless our program today, and that you may bless our guests as we come before you, Lord, and we try to bring a great program, that you may do something great and something special in our midst. And Father, in the midst of everything, we give you thanks, praise, honor, and glory. Amen and amen. So I want to take a minute and I want to encourage you. Those of you who are listening, we want you to continue to support us. If you have been supporting us, we want you to continue to support us by, donating. If you want to donate, you can go to drsuave1.com, or you can go to noahsarkworshipcenter.com, and you can donate by, buying a song, buying a hat, shirt, music. So anything that you can do to support us, we will be glad to do that. As you know, it's been 30 years of music, 30 years of my music career, and I have this new CD called Let's Go, which features Jasmine Nicholas and also Ismail Nicholas. So we actually are trying to put a program, a show for you on the road. We'll be touring soon, so we want you to go to the website, drsuave1.com, and you can see and you can follow through with the things that we are going to be doing in the course of the next couple of weeks. As I mentioned to you before, we are still working on the video side, so as soon as we get the videos completed, we are going to get the tour ready, the band is ready, everybody ready to go. So we're just praying and asking God that God may help us for for a great year, a great success that it's about to come. So we want to continue to open our hearts, open our minds, and be grateful and be happy, because we know that if we are grateful and that if we are happy, that we know that great things will come out of what we do and out of what we can accomplish. So we want you to open your heart and open your mind. Today we have, like I said, a very great program. But as we moving around over time, we continue to really introduce, the music and the songs and the things that we're doing, because we want to encourage you and we want you to know that, hey, you know what, we are here because we are trying to get things completed, and we are trying to make sure that everything works out for the best. And we want to make sure that in the midst of everything, God will work out the situation and that everything may be positive. So, as usual, we always have a positive word, a positive message for you guys. So we want you to know that everything is positive today. Last Tuesday, we talked about doing good works. We talked about believing in what you do. And today we actually have a word of reflection for you So we're going to get to that in a minute. But let's listen to the number 2, Let's Go. We'll listen to the song Let's Go from the new CD Let's Go. So we're going to go with song number 2, Let's Go. So we want you to really, like I said, be open-minded and, like I said, enjoy the song.
Hi to everyone, this is Dr. Suave, and I would like to introduce my new production called Let's Go. The name of the song is called Let's Go, and it's feature Jasmine Nicholas in vocals. Enjoy.
Let's Go from a new CD coming out. It's called Let's Go. Remember, as I mentioned to you guys before, it's been 30 years of music career, and this is my 11th CD coming out, Let's Go. So we're gonna be playing one or two more teams. But as I mentioned to you, we have a great guest today. I have my great friend, leader. He came all the way from another state just to be here with us. But no other better person than Councilman. Oh, go ahead.
All right.
Councilman.
Hey, thanks for having me on your show. Yeah. All the way from Philadelphia.
From Philadelphia.
We're just talking how the GPS sent me around a few of the small streets. I got to check out Lawrenceville and some other places.
So hey, they want to keep you in Philly. Don't come to Jersey. Let's keep it in Philly.
Yeah.
But no, we're glad that you made it. And I know him for a while now. And aside from being a leader, he's a family man. He's a humble man, and he works very hard with the community. And we're gonna talk a little bit about what he's doing. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about. I'm gonna let you do your thing.
Oh, sure.
Talk a little bit about how you started into the political career, because I know aside from that he's an attorney, but I want you to talk a little bit about that.
This could be a long story, so
Make it short.
make it short whenever you just give me some hand signals. So to make a long story short, I was very much set on being an attorney. I hope to be a good attorney in the sense of being a skillful attorney and a person who did good. And to make a long story short, I ended up kind of reconsidering my skills and experience in life, and I wanted to run for office.
Okay.
And really try to interject some meaningful discussion into education, jobs, that type of thing. Pretty much with the idea that I had not much of a chance of winning, and so I ran, and I did lose, but I did really, really surprisingly well.
Wow.
And I ended up running 3 times, and then I won the 3rd time.
So hey, that's one thing I like about people who run for office. If they lose, they don't give up. They keep running. I had a few months ago. I had a candidate for mayor for Trenton back in that time, a few months ago, and he was telling the story. He lost like 3 times, and then the 4th time I think he won, and then he's been there for like 3 terms, so he retired now.
Yeah.
But I got to commend you guys for being persistent, staying in there and running. But aside from that, like I said, he works a lot with the community. He started out with a vision of a program called PHL.
Yes.
So I don't know if you sing. Are you a singer?
No, it's weird because people ask me like if I'm a big music fan or something like that. No, I really had a vision around innovation and creativity and how important it was for the economy. So, one of the things that happened is when I got elected, I created a new committee with the permission of my colleagues and council president, a committee on global opportunities and a creative, innovative economy. And to get going, I was thinking about music and how it was such a wonderful vehicle for people who were talented and skilled, people in front of and behind a microphone. And so I ended up creating an initiative we call PHL Center Stage. It's free, it's open to the public. They just go to a website, upload a YouTube video of their musical performance in one of 10 categories. And the most important thing is we have Grammy Award winners and Grammy nominated producers, engineers, who then review these videos and select 5 finalists who perform live in some of Philadelphia's best venues. And we'll declare a winner in 10 different categories, 1 per category. But we won't do it till the award show, which we do at the Trocadero, and then we announce the winners, and they get $1,000 each. Okay. And there's a People's Choice. That's the 11th winner.
$1,000. They heard the $1,000.
Hey, look, $1,000. That's not bad. But you get free studio recording time, some photography, all kinds of stuff. But the main thing I really think is that you've got really very, very good attention of really top level people in the music industry.
Hey, you know what? The surprising thing is that no matter how you look at it, I'm gonna say this. You are a musician because you're a listener. See, the best thing about music is when you can be a listener, and I know all that's come through because you listen to music all the time.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you a good song from a bad song, but here's the thing. I rely on like the top level people, our top musical producers, from all our radio stations and people who have like 2 Grammys. And they do all the judging, they make all the selections, and there's many times when I go and watch, I'm like, wow, I'm glad I'm not a judge because these people are amazing.
Amazing.
And you'll see people like you never heard of them, they come out and or you'll see people who've been like going at it for 12 years, and they just need that one more thing to help them get to the next level.
And you know what? The thing we got to consider, and not only that, but we also, got to consider what's your favorite genre of music, and who's your favorite artist?
My goodness,
I'll put you on the spot now.
No, listen, I can't give you a good answer because maybe one of the good things is I'm a jack of all trades and master of none. Like the one thing I can't do is listen to one station for too long. I'm always switching to,
Okay.
So I don't hate really any category of music, and so, whether it's country folk or jazz or DJ, rock or hip hop or whatnot, it's all good to me. And I love the creativity. I love watching that whole process. And, I think one of the things is, you got to be a cheerleader. You got to be a person who doesn't look at other people with envy. You look at other people and say, man, look at that person. They can dunk a basketball. Or, wow, look at that guy. Or look at that woman. Man, she's fantastic. I wish they could really excel in their life. And so I think that's part of what, how you help other people. And in doing so, hey, listen, you can't do what they do anyway. Exactly. And so when they do well, we all do well.
Exactly. And well, Philly got a history of, musician, actress, artist. But I'm going to say this, I'm sure this, I was in the Army band, so when they did the 4th of July, I was in the parades back in that time.
Oh, yeah.
And I was actually, I remember when Ray Charles was back in the day, I actually met him. I was right front row in that. But this year, who they brought this year that did the 4th of July event? I know he worked with Center Stage, I forgot who it was.
Oh my goodness, I don't know. Dan, do you know? Dan from my office here.
You don't remember? Okay, all right. Yeah. But, the whole thing about, not only about Philly, but about the country, is that we, it's about looking for the talent. Yes. PHL Center Stage looks for talent. Yes. And look, two things. Think about it this way. You get $1,000. Think about it. Who's going to give you $1,000 to go sing?
Exactly.
Just in Philadelphia. $1,000 plus you're meeting all these producers, plus you with people in the industry that you'll be able to network. Yes. So we definitely got to, make sure you listen to this. Give them do you get the website and information?
Yeah, sure. PHLlive.org. PHLLIVE.org. If you kind of type that in, the website will come out. You get to see who some of the judges are. The performances, things like that.
Hey, but the funniest thing is that I was PHL Live Center has been like, well, this is the 3rd or 4th year.
Oh my God, this is the fifth year anniversary.
So listen, I was in that first group when it was born. So that's how I met the Councilman. So I'm in that first group, but I'm gonna say this. I think it's a great program for people who's working their way into the music, initiating themselves into the music. I mean, I've been in music 30 years, and people still don't know who I am, but it's okay. But because somebody knows me, so that's good. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I mean, it's well, listen, I mean, just the level of talent. In fact, it's funny. We were talking about it the other day, but John Legend, he's performing live all around the place, and 2 of our contestants perform with him regularly.
Look at that.
Ben O'Neill, his lead guitar player, Imani. Natalie Imani, she's one of his backup singers. So outstanding talent.
But see, I'm gonna say this to people out there. Oh, we gotta go. Okay, we got 2 minutes. We're gonna go into the first set of commercials.
Yeah, okay.
But I want to say this before we go to set of commercial: is that music is universal, and through that you'd be able to, meet so much people. So I'm gonna encourage those people who are out there, especially in New Jersey. Not because you're in New Jersey, you can't go participate in Philly. Go Jersey, go show Philly what you got. That's how we do it.
Absolutely.
Don't sit there and say, oh, it's just Philadelphia. No, it's open to everybody.
So it is a 6-county area thing, but that includes Philadelphia, Montgomery, Delaware County, Bucks, whatever. But it includes Camden County. And so, like, if you got a rock band, at least one member lives in Camden County, you can go ahead and
you know what? I'm gonna make an amendment to that rule because now we Jersey, we got Ewing, we got Hamilton, so you gotta open it to the whole country now. I stop saying no, it's going. So that's something to consider.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go into the first set of commercial. We're here with Councilman. Oh, we're having a great time. He's talking about PHL Center Stage, which deals with developing artists. And we're also going to talk about his trailer, what he's been doing with the city, and all that stuff. So stay tuned and see what Dr. Suave will be right back. Go ahead.
All right, don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere. Here we go. You heard it from the councilman. Hey, Hey, those of you listening, we are back. We are back. We got here Councilman O from Philadelphia.
All right, I am here. Yes.
And he's popping. He got everything going.
Oh, doing the best I can.
Hey, you know what? He just trying to find his homework. He's trying to find out the 10 categories of
10
music.
categories of music. I'm missing one, but it's like classical, rock, country, folk, DJ, gospel, hip hop, jazz, world music. And then I'm missing one. I wonder what the other one was. But anyway, we're looking for it.
Hey, if you know, you call in with the answer. You might get $1,000.
Yeah, PHL Live, you know.
PHL Live.
Center Stage. What are the 10 categories of music? And get your check from Dr. Suave.
Hey. Oh, he put me out there. I thought PHL Center was going to take your bit. But it's okay. Hey, just call in. We just pray for you.
Yes,
you call in,
exactly.
we'll give you a prayer. But no, we're glad to have Councilman. But while we're getting that information, we're going to talk a little bit more about Councilman.
R&B.
R&B, come on,
R&B.
All right, so here we
One of
go.
our
We
best
got
shows,
it.
yes. All 10 categories.
Hey, you can't live without that. You can't live with it. You can't live without
Yes,
that. It's like the woman. You cannot live with them. You cannot live with them.
By the way, there's a people's choice, so if people have fans, family, friends, they come in, they can vote for a winner, and whoever gets the most votes, hey, that's $1,000, free studio recording time, and other great prizes.
Hey, let me tell you something, man. Hey, look, if you're listening to me right now, we already made an amendment. We made an amendment. It's open to happen to you. The tri-state Morrisville, Pennsylvania. Listen, he's getting nervous now. Now I'm gonna have too much people. Can't handle it.
Never too many people. Listen, come on, bring it in.
So bring it in. But hey, listen, hey, Councilman, aside from being an attorney, Councilman at large in Philadelphia, was also part of the Army services,
yes.
And he's a veteran.
Yeah.
And we were talking a little bit about that. So just tell the people what you told me. Now I want to hear from you. Go ahead.
Yeah, listen. So I had a kind of an odd thing. I was in the Philadelphia District Attorney's office, serving as a prosecutor, and I always wanted to do national service. So I walked by a recruiter, and so I joined as a private in the Army, and had what's called an OCS option. So I went to officer candidate school, and while I was there, before I went to the infantry officer's basic course, I joined the 20th Special Forces Group, which is a National Guard unit. I wasn't TAD, but then I went to airborne school, and I got called up for Desert Storm. And the whole war ended, and I was released. And as I said, fortunately, I didn't get shot, and I didn't shoot anybody, so
good.
all good. And happy to serve my country, and so thankful for those who protect our freedoms.
Hey, you'll be surprised. See how calm this guy is, man. Think about it. He's a calm guy, but he's dangerous.
Yeah, very calm. Dangerous in the kitchen. Dangerous in the kitchen.
He's a cook. He's a cook too. So, hey, I'm gonna tell you this, man. You gotta know this guy to love it. If you see him, he's a cook. Every time I see him, he's calm. I didn't know he had all this thing behind him. Yeah. Man, you better be careful. So, if you walk in, don't mess with the man. Just say hi and bye. Keep going.
Yeah.
But no, we enjoy the conversation. We enjoy what he has done. Talk to us about what has been your greatest challenge as a councilman in Philadelphia, which is one of a big state.
Yeah, there are a lot of challenges. I think that the biggest challenge I have is informing the public.
Okay.
Informing, and that's even before we get to our work. Like, people have to really know honestly what's happening and what their choices are. There's a lot of misinformation. Everybody likes kind of doing something very simply to solve a big major problem that took decades to make. Mm-hmm. And it unfortunately doesn't happen that way. And so simple solutions, free stuff, that all sounds good, but it doesn't actually help. And so my biggest challenge is to try to educate people, even if they're against what I do, at least they know what they're against and what their choices are.
Well, let me tell you, I'm gonna give you an idea. Mix it up with entertainment. Tell them, hey, we got Rocky Balboa coming, and then you change it up to something. People will come out. But go ahead.
Well, it's funny you say that, because, for example, PHL Live Center Stage, which is about the music economy, and I have a task force that deals with television and film. A large part of what I do is try to talk to regular folks about why the creative economy is about them. People say, oh, that's not about me, that's about somebody else. No, it's about you.
Exactly.
It's about your public schools, it's about tax dollars, it's about public safety, but it's also about jobs and industry and opportunity and education. And so we make it relevant to people as to why they have to support it. PHL Live gets no public funding. We get a grant from the Office of Arts and Culture that they get grants from, but I have to raise money from private entities because we're not yet at the point where in the city of Philadelphia they're willing to commit dollars to really helping this industry. But when you look at Nashville, when you look at Austin, when you look at Seattle, they are, and that's why their economy is doing so well in those areas. But that's true of every other area, including more simple things. When I say simple, maybe not so complex to understand as to why it's important, like public education. Why is public education very challenged in cities like Philadelphia? And I think that's part where we try to tell people, like, there are facts, data, and research, and high performers in some poor countries, and countries that were poor, they're doing great now, and we have to really take what they've done seriously, because they took what we did in the 1960s when we put a man on the moon very seriously. They came to our country, they emulated what we did, but now they've surpassed us.
Hey, you know what? That was the greatest thing. Sending the man to the moon.
Yeah.
I wish they said me. No, I don't want to go down there. Nah, I stay out of that.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say this to people who are out there. Philadelphia is a huge, not a small, a huge city. How many council people are
17.
17,
yeah.
17 compared to other cities like Trenton, like got 8 or probably 7 or less than that. And New York, I know, is large too.
Yeah,
Chicago,
super large.
Yeah, so Philadelphia is huge. And then when you talk about the school district and the economy and what you're trying to do, it's really difficult because it's easy. I mean, what's the population amount in Philly?
In the city directly, it's 1.5 million, and the metropolitan area is like 6 million.
6 million. So think about it, and it's hard to inform, and you try to use all the media, Twitter. You gotta be like president. Use Twitter.
Well, let me give an example. People in Philadelphia who advocate for education, many of them will say, this is how much money we spend for children in our schools versus in a suburb like Lower Merion. But the difference is the median household income in Philadelphia is $37,000, where in Lower Merion, a very little area, wealthy area, it's $335,000 per household. That's not really a fair comparison.
Exactly.
And yet the issue is you want to provide a good quality education, but to everyone in our school district, which is the entire city. So rather than us only looking at us versus a wealthy suburban small area, we have to look inside the city to ensure that every child, no matter where they are in the city of Philadelphia, is getting a good quality education. Yeah.
And now, see, the problem, who don't understand the education process and the funding does not understand that when you have those large group of numbers, you don't have enough personnel because you don't have the funds to pay the personnel.
Yeah, and you want to make sure that in addition to looking at things in terms of dollar per child, it is a way to look at it, but you have to look at the quality that you provide.
Exactly.
And one of the things that we try to let people understand is, if I only equip half the football team and train half the football team, that football team is going to lose to a team that is fully trained, fully equipped.
Exactly.
And so when we have kids who are well educated and given vocational opportunities, and then other kids in our community are not, we as a team lose. So we have to ensure that everyone is being given an opportunity to succeed, and that's what our competitors are doing.
And you know what, one thing I could say is that, it's a hard job turning the city around. Now let's talk a little bit about crime.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
How is the crime rate in Philadelphia right now?
Well, it's not good. I mean, and that's one of our challenges. And like many places, we have those who have a bright future and those who have a dim future.
Okay.
And basically, crime has a lot to do with that. Crime has a lot to do with choices people making, or people who don't feel they have choices and end up making bad choices. And so crime is an opportunity, for them, and we do have to address it. There are always those who choose crime, but we want to make sure for those who don't want to choose crime and want to do other things, that we have provided the opportunity for them to be productive and positive.
And you know what, I'm going to say this, not only just in Philadelphia, but all over the country. The police is just being bombarded, with all the issues.
Yeah, sure.
And, the bad experiences. And I know, the city hall itself and the mayor and you guys is a big challenge because sometimes you got trying to take your head out, and the public is not helping. So it's a hard task. Right
Yeah,
now.
I think like all things, as we were talking about the creative economy, about public education, or even crime, you know, a lot of things are really just kind of based on some very understandable principles. Like we want to live free, we want to have independent choice, but we cannot just do whatever we want. And there are people who will want to be kind, and there are people who will want to do ill. And for that, we have laws and regulations and rules to protect the public, to negotiate how we interact with each other, and to enforce that we have police. So the police, we do want them to be well-trained, we want them to be professional, we need to support them in what they do, and we also have to ensure that they don't do things that are incorrect.
Exactly.
And as long as we do that, I think we are fine.
And you know, one thing you said, you know, do correct stuff to the public, which means being fair to the public, because it's all about that. But you know, we can sit here and talk a lot about it, a lot of things that you know that deals with Philadelphia, because it's just a large city that you know has so much. And you know, I commend the leaders. You know, especially in Philadelphia, New York. It's just big numbers.
Yeah.
You know, and when you're dealing with big numbers, it's not like baby numbers, like
Right.
you know, compared to Camden or Trenton, or so you know, it's a big challenge.
Yeah, I mean, you know, clearly there is a nationwide opioid problem, heroin, and certainly Philadelphia is a place known for, you know, availability of inexpensive pure heroin. And that creates problems, and people get addicted, and you know, to feed their addiction, they commit crimes, and there are people who will exploit them. And so this kind of cycle becomes very problematic. And I would also say that, you know, for those who are selling, you know, they're selling, but then at the end of the day, many of them will kill you.
Exactly.
And so, you know, murder is part of this whole drug culture.
And you know what? A few months ago, was it last year? You had an issue that.
Oh, I got stabbed in front of my house. Yeah, that's what
let's
I'm
talk
most
a little
famous
bit
for.
about that. Hey, those of you who don't know,
Yeah.
the poor councilman, he just outside, and I saw the news. I'm like, man, I just like, oh my God, why they mess with the wrong guy? Go ahead, talk to us a little bit about that. While we're talking, go ahead.
Yeah, you know, what happened is, you know, last year, I think it was probably around May or so, I came home and, you know, long day of work, and I had a lot of things in my hands. You know, I was trying to close the back of my SUV with, you know, a lot of things, and I seen a young man, and I thought he was waving to my neighbor, and so I didn't really take note of him, and as he passed by, I kind of nodded at him, and he nodded at me, and when I closed the back of my car and turned around, there he was.
Wow.
And so I really couldn't understand him. He was very kind of distraught, very tense, and, you know, he was trying to say something, and finally I could hear the word, like, keys.
Oh, he wants your keys.
Keys, you know, and I was like thinking to myself, man, maybe he got in an accident, maybe he got hurt.
Exactly.
Like in the short time that I saw him, maybe he was with his girlfriend, she needs a rush to the hospital, and then he was like, car keys, and he was started saying like wallet, and then I'm saying, well, you know, but I'm not sure now.
Nice.
So, yeah, about 9 o'clock at night.
First he wanted the key, yeah, he wanted the wallet.
So listen, I stepped back to kind of take a better look at him, and he's got his right hand down, almost kind of behind him a little bit,
Wow.
with something protruding from his thumb. It could have been a car keys, it could have been a pen, it could have been a knife. I didn't know what it was. So as I backed up trying to understand him, he suddenly lunged forward and struck me in the left side of my ribs, which is almost a tap.
Wow.
Which I knew from experience and other things that I had just been stabbed. And I wanted to let him know. I said, hey, you know, you stabbed me, right? So to let him know, hey, you stabbed me, and now what? Are you going to run? Are you going to stick around?
So what you did? So what you? Go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
so-
I gotta listen to this.
Well, so what happened is, you know, it gave me a second to drop what was in my hands.
Okay.
And,
Wow.
you know, and it gave me a second to think about what I should do. And, you know, one of the things I had in the bag that was a gift from a delegation from the Republic of Georgia, which included something they're very proud of, their wine. So they gave me a bottle of wine.
Wow.
So I was thinking to myself in a split second, you know, this bottle of wine is the only weapon I have.
Exactly.
You know, I need to crack it on the street, and stick it in his neck. Yeah, stick it in his neck or his face, right? But I was thinking that we had just dedicated the street to my cousin who was murdered in 1958.
Oh, I heard it.
And
yeah.
his family forgave the murderers, raised money for them. They raised it in Korea. And for them, you know, they only made pennies a day, but the family raised $500, which is a fortune to them.
Yeah, exactly.
But really nothing here in the United States. But I thought, hey, you know, I really did that because I thought it's so important to talk about forgiveness and to you know, to try to resolve violence in our city. Yeah, I know about taking guns off the street, you know, and I commend it. But violence starts in the heart.
Exactly.
You don't touch people's heart and give them alternatives. And I could just see, you know, like the headlines, Councilman blinds, maims, kills, you know. So,
Well, hold on. I'm still waiting to find out what you did.
yeah,
I'm
so-
still waiting. Go ahead.
So like as a split second, I just dropped everything and said, let me just back up and see how this
Wow.
goes.
Wow.
And so I was kind of like seeing what he would do, but he just kept lunging at me, trying to stab me, and I was just kind of negotiating that, you know, walking back, you know.
You're a nice guy, boy.
Oh, well, you know, I was self-defense is self-preservation.
Right, exactly,
It's not like
exactly.
one of these karate movies where your goal is to hurt somebody.
Exactly.
Your goal is to be untouched,
Untouched.
unscathed. Anyway, so this happened for about 8 minutes. And to make a long story short, eventually he left and I was fine. I went to the hospital, got surgery, and that was that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw that TV, actually, ABC
Yeah,
10, and I was like, I have to pray for my man right there. But I'm glad that you're okay.
No, listen, I tell people, listen, all is okay. I mean, at the end of the day, he's okay, I'm okay.
Okay, exactly.
So,
And-
couldn't
and-
be better.
And I know he got his punishment too, so, you know.
Yeah, he got a little bit. He got time to reflect,
Okay.
time to think.
Exactly.
And, you know, at the end of the day, the person that identified was found not guilty, and I said, that's fine.
Okay.
And so I have kind of said, listen, found not guilty is not guilty, and let's
Okay.
leave it at that.
At that, exactly.
Yeah, but I think all for the better for everybody concerned.
But I'm gonna tell you this, you know, the thing is this, like, when you know the person, like, it hurt, like, it bothers you, like, cause I know you, like, I met you, and I was like, when I saw it, I mean, I was surprised, but
Right.
I'm glad that, you know, through the reports that you are okay, thank
Yes,
God.
yes.
And, you know, no matter what, God protected you, because,
Oh, yeah,
you know,
oh,
something worse could have
Yes,
happened.
yes,
But, you know, and you use your judgment, you know,
Yeah.
cause you could have hurt him too, like, really hurt him.
Yeah, that would have been a temptation that would have led to bad things.
But-
I mean, as it turned out, everything was fine, and you know, I was right in front of my house. I went in and you know, asked my wife to you know, I called 911 from my cell phone,
Okay.
and basically, you know, I asked my wife to call from the landline, and she just like was in distraught. So I said, I better go out and call him again.
Well, you know how women are, they panic, you know,
Oh,
so.
my goodness.
And that's my man. How many years have you been married? Matter of fact, let's talk
Well,
about
you
it.
know, let me see, it's 11 years.
Okay, all right.
11 years, I think.
I'm
I'm sorry, it's like 12.
12, okay, that's okay. You're moving
It's okay.
up, you're moving up the ladder.
We're in a radio station in Jersey. She's not listening, so yeah, 12 years.
Hey,
not in trouble.
well, that's okay, you're moving up the stairs. I had a guess, he been married for 40 years.
Oh my goodness.
40 years, I look at
That's
him
a long
like,
time. Wow.
I'm like, okay, I'm halfway there, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
good. You're
yeah.
moving up the steps.
Yes.
But hey, we're gonna go into commercial. We're here with Councilman at Large, Dave O. We're gonna take a minute. We always come back with the final talk. So we're going with, you know, this final set of commercials. We come out with the final talk, then we're gonna pray. But we are glad to have Councilman O here. We're gonna talk a little bit more about PHL Center Stage. We want you to, you know, like I said, the amendment is just put in verbally. I gotta write it up
Right.
so you can make the changes and not the other stage. So you can from anywhere and be like American Idol, you know,
Yeah.
PHL Open, you know. So it's okay. So go ahead, Councilman, just say real quick. Just actually take us into commercial. Go ahead.
All right, well listen, PHL Live Center Stage, you can find it at phlive.org, and stay tuned because we'll be right back after this word.
Don't go nowhere.
Dr. Suave.
Hey, we're back with the great councilman. Great
Yeah,
councilman.
all right.
Hey, we were talking about the kids. We're talking about the kids.
Yeah.
Hey, one thing he said to me, he said he teaches them martial arts. So what the ages of the kids? Go ahead. 4 kids.
I got 4 kids, 11, 8, 6, and 4. The oldest is a girl, the youngest is a girl, and I got 2 boys in between.
Wow, so you got half and half. Hey, but the good thing about it is I'm very fortunate because now I got a martial arts teacher right next to me. He's teaching them martial arts on Sundays. So I'm gonna start coming over. I need to take your business in the street, man.
every Sunday I teach a martial arts, a little bit of karate, a little bit of kickboxing, a little bit of Brazilian jiu-jitsu, a little judo.
Wow.
And it's good for the kids,
Exactly.
they learn how to fall or not get hurt falling, how to roll. Do a little bit of wrestling, grappling, a little bit of avoiding, a little kicking, punching. All to say that basically, be calm, relax,
Exactly.
don't let things get into a bad way. Don't feel threatened, don't act out of fear. If you're not going to get uptight, not react unnecessarily, not flinch when you don't have to, you can try to generally avoid problems and try to talk people down.
Hey, but that's what you always need to learn. Self-defense. Now with all the bullying that's happening, so
Self-defense, self-preservation. Take care of yourself. Don't get hurt.
Hey, but don't try to cause fights now. Yeah.
That's not self-defense.
Hey,
That's just making trouble.
Making trouble. You don't want to make trouble. But let's talk about PHL Center Stage.
Yeah.
Talk about when is the first event? Because we want people to know.
Well, like right now, if you want to enter, you can enter.
Okay.
And because we get so many entries, you will not get any feedback other than if you were selected,
Okay.
and then if you can perform.
Okay.
Other than that, if you want to watch, there are 10 shows plus an award show.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can go to the website phllive.org and find out the venues and all that. But the first show is going to be the DJ category at a place called Kung Fu Necktie in Philadelphia. Kung Fu Necktie. Can't forget that, right? Just
Yeah,
Google
Kung
it.
Fu-
But it's
Kung
at
Fu.
like 1248 North Front Street. And one of the shows I recommend for your listeners, because I think they'd have a lot of fun, is the rock show. That's at Milk Boy, 1100 Chestnut Street in Philadelphia. And the rock bands are always fantastic, and people have a really good time.
What day is that show?
That is a Wednesday, 7:30. And then, of course, the big place to go is to the award show, which is December the 13th at the Trocadero Theater, 10th and Arch. And, we'll have everybody show up in all categories. It's cool because you'll have like jazz musicians with classical musicians, with rock musicians, with the hip hop.
They gonna rock the place. They gonna rock the place.
Together, the producers, engineers, radio talk show hosts and all that. Everyone's together. And then we announce the finalists and then select a winner. And there'll be some performances as well.
Hey, listen, if you can't move, you'll move there that day. Whatever. You got R&B, you got rock and roll, you got fusion, everything. So just go down there and have fun. That's what we want.
Absolutely.
Pretty cheap, $10. $10.
$10 for the shows in general. I think the award show might be $15. I'm not sure, but anyway, everybody has a good time.
So let me tell you, that's the whole point about it. Okay, so let's do this. We usually take a minute and pray for the audience. So we'll take a minute.
Sure.
We want to pray for the audience, but I usually come up with a scripture. So let's just see the scripture for today. I usually give a reflection. So Hebrews chapter 13, verse 8 says, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So we want to keep it with that thought today. So those people who are listening, watching the live stream, we want to keep you with that thought. We're going to pray for you real quick, and then we have 2-3 minutes. We'll talk a little bit about PHL Center, but we center our program in giving a good reflection because it's all about doing that. Now, with what's going on in the country with the hurricane that just passed through in the south, we do want to encourage. Actually, Tuesday I was talking about doing good works, and I think people out there who's helping out, are doing great work. So we want to really pray for those people. I don't know if you want to say something about that. I know you've been involved too as well. So
well, listen. I mean, there are all kinds of things that occur, and I know that from Philadelphia, we had a number of our firefighters and other first responders go down to lend a hand. And I'm sure right here in New Jersey, a lot of people volunteer.
Exactly.
And so that's always a wonderful thing, and we keep them in our hearts and prayers. Just make sure they're okay, everybody's okay. Not just when a disaster occurs, but afterwards.
Exactly.
From all kinds of other things that happen when utilities and sanitation isn't working, that type of thing.
And not only that, we had some people, lost family, relatives, some lives were lost. So we really want to really take attention and heed to that, so we know that somebody cares. So if you're out there listening, listen carefully. Somebody cares about you. We have a positive message, and remember, God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So let's take a minute, let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity you have given us to be here, Lord. We thank you for this show in the mix. We thank you for Councilman O that's here today. We thank you because we know the great things you have done. We thank you for this radio station. We thank you for the college students. We thank you for those who are listening in their cars, who are watching at home, who are listening at home. We want to thank you because we know that you are able to do great things. And in addition to that, we want to pray for those in the South, for their situation, and for everyone across the country as well, because we're looking for hope, we're looking for peace. And Father, today we're here with a positive message, and we are trying to instruct that positive message of hope. And we are asking that you may keep blessing our country, bless Philadelphia, New Jersey, every state, and you be glorified. In your holy name we pray and we thank you. Amen. Amen. So, Councilman, give us the final. What will you say? I mean, I'm gonna have you again. You know, again, we gotta talk about more what you've done. You've done a lot, and you're a humble guy. But what would you say to those who are trying to get into this PHL Center? I'm gonna say my personal experience: join, get in there, get involved. You'll be seen. I mean, I'm out there already. So, but I'm saying to you, get involved. Go ahead.
Yeah, my thing is, you have nothing to lose. Listen. You could sit on the couch, you could worry about what bad things would happen, you could think that maybe tomorrow will be a better day, but do it now.
Exactly.
Listen, there's no reason not to, and for those who do something, you are, whether you succeed or fail, you are on your way. The biggest hurdle is not doing.
Exactly. So, so the website is
phllive.org.
phllive.org. So join in, call in, get involved. This is your host, Dr. Suave, here in the mix. Remember, pick up if you want to support what we're doing. Go online, go to drsuave1.com. You can listen to the new music. We don't have everything online yet because the CD is not finally released, but we got those two main songs. We're going to come out, we're going to finish up with Jasmine Nicholas, Look at Me, and then we thank Councilman O for being here. This is not the last time he's going to be here. We're going to have him again. So, but I'm really glad. His driver who drove all the way from Philly to bring him. Hey, Chris, who's my engineer. Right. Ismael with the camera. Right. So, hey, you know what? Everybody make things possible. Not just, but I'm that way. I tag everybody because if not, he wouldn't be here. He wouldn't have the show.
Yeah, that's right.
So we got everybody working. So Councilman, final thoughts, goodbye to the audience, and then we're going to finish up with Jasmine Nicholas.
All right. Well, listen, I'm happy to be out here. Thank you so very much. Best to you, and keep doing what you do, and make your aspirations high.
Thank you. Hey, join us next Tuesday, 4 to 5 here in the mix. Jasmine Nicholas, Look at Me, and then we'll see you. I hope you guys tune in next Tuesday.
All right.
Not in my right mind. So much I've lost. Should've never gave up that voice that from the start. There was the two of us. It's vanished or torn apart. There's ties in my stomach.